But Mark, let's end the podcast like we always do. And also, hello if you're on YouTube. This is the first video you're going to see of the week, even though we're ending the podcast here on Most Valuable Podcast, the Onside Kick. We got Thursday Night Football. We're going straight through. This is an interesting game because I hope they don't make the same mistake they made last year, having all red unis and all green unis. We got the Bills and the Jets, the colorblind game, as I called it last year. Who do you've got? Bills, 3.5-point favorites.
I'm going to roll with New York. You know, they were doing well for me last week when I decided I will finally give in and say, okay, fine, New York can be an okay team.
And then they fell apart in the fourth.
Yeah, but they at least had hope. They at least had hope for me. And, you know, Buffalo's definitely, kind of underperforming as well. I was looking into Zay Jones and thinking, what happened to that guy? He was supposed to be good. Where has he been? He's been dropping every football that gets thrown his way. Gonna take the Jets.
I'm going to go on the other side. I'm going to go with the Bills. This is a team where I know of recently it's been win 2, lose 1, win 2. We'll see if you do what you do here. I think they get the win on the road against the New York team that can't play in the fourth quarter. Bills go to 6-2 and try to catch the Patriots at the top of the division. Then we move into the Sunday games. No line for this one, so it's a straight pick 'em. Ravens at Titans. Who you got?
Yep, gonna go with the home team, Tennessee and Nissan Stadium. Part of me wants to say I can see Baltimore pulling it off, but has Joe
Flacco cleared the concussion protocol? Do we know that yet?
I don't think he has yet, but we're recording this really early in the week.
Yeah, we're recording this on Monday, and usually quarterbacks and that don't know whether it's until Saturday. And I'm looking 4 hours ago, there's an article, John Harbaugh says that Flacco has 0 concussion symptoms. So
that's good.
I'm going to go on the other side again. I'm going to go with the Ravens in this one. Had a big game against the Dolphins a week ago. I think they used that game, carry momentum. However, this is with a Flacco starting. If Flacco doesn't start, could be a Titan win, but I'm going to go with the Ravens no matter what. Then we've got an NFC South showdown, Mark.
Yep.
The Saints, they get the win over your Bears last week. 7-point favorites now at home against the Buccaneers. Who do you got?
You know, I think that I got to continue with my home teams. Drew Brees, I think, is a little frustrated by that Chicago Bears defense. They kept him in check pretty much the whole game. And I think he's going to bounce back and kind of beat up on a weaker Tampa Bay defense. Not that Tampa Bay defense is too weak, but I think he's going to try and take advantage of them a little bit.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Saints as well. This is the first one that you and I are going to agree on here. I think the Saints, they've been really good. My surprise of the year has been the New Orleans Saints and how well they've done. Great. Because if my prediction holds true for them, they're going to lose every single game and go 5-11.
So maybe you should pick Tampa.
Yeah, maybe I should pick Tampa. But the next game, we've got the LA Rams at 5-2, 3.5-point favorites on the road against the 1-6 Giants. Got to go with the Rams here. Yeah. Giants 1 game closer to being officially kiss of death.
Yeah, I think that we're going to, you got to pick LA here. They've been doing good stuff. It's actually kind of fun that we have the two of the 4 teams that live in similar cities, the LA and the LA, the New York and the New York. They get to play each other. I'm going to go with Jared Goff. I'm, I guess, believing in him. I'm going to go with the Rams.
Yeah, I'm going to go with them as well, only because, like I said, I do not believe in the Giants anymore, even though I said they were going to win the Super Bowl. You got to give someone the kiss of death. Then we're going to move on. A team that is currently losing right now as we are recording this, the Denver Broncos. So we're going to say they're 3-4. I don't think they make the comeback. They are playing 7-point underdogs to the 7-1 Philadelphia Eagles. I'm going to go fly, Eagles fly. Carson Wentz's Eagle team get the win, go to 8-1, and therefore increase their lead or continue to keep their lead over the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to put it out there that I'm going to pick the Philadelphia Eagles. Got to go with my fantasy quarterback here, Carson Wentz. But I do think this is quite the trap game here. I think that Denver can kind of roll by the defense and maybe upset Philadelphia at Philadelphia's home. So I think that there's a little bit of fear there for the trap game. But with that being said, I got to pick Philadelphia. They're on a roll.
And the one thing I am going to infuse here, because we aren't going to have an extra topic about this, I'm infusing it in right now. Just looked, breaking news as we're recording this, Zeke's 6-game ban is upheld.
Oh, okay.
So he will have a 6-game ban starting this upcoming week.
Good thing I still have Run DMC on my team.
So I want to actually, I'm going to jump to that game.
All right.
Chiefs, who are winning right now, if they hold that at 6-2, Cowboys at 4-3, without Zeke now, I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
Oh,
I think the
100%.
Chiefs win this game in Dallas without Ezekiel Elliott.
And I think that Dak Prescott can kind of, I don't want to say go toe-to-toe, but I think he can keep up without Zeke out there. But
do you have faith in Run DMC?
No.
Or Alfred Morris? He's still the third stringer.
He's there, I'm sure.
He's still the third stringer.
Well, I mean, DMC, I'm probably going to put him in the fantasy lineup because what the hell else am I going to do? I mean, him and Jay Ajayi are going to lead me to some success, apparently. But, yeah, I mean, you got to go Kansas City. I mean, that's a sure thing right now.
And that's going to be interesting now to see how that suspension hurts the Cowboys because, like we said, the Eagles win this week, Cowboys lose this week. That means it goes from a 2-game cushion to a 3-game cushion.
Almost locking it up.
And then if you're Dallas, you can't really lock on the, okay, we play the Eagles twice this year. Very interesting that breaking news holds up. Now let's go back to our scheduled programming as usual. Falcons at Panthers, Carolina, 2.5-point favorites.
Going to go with the Atlanta Falcons on this one, picking the away team.
Very different. You've picked straight home games except for the Rams. You've picked straight home games except for the Rams and Chiefs.
And the Chiefs now, too. And Denver, like I said, trap game. But anyways, I just think both these teams are just huge question marks.
Yeah.
You have no idea what to expect out of either one of them. Maybe Atlanta can bounce back.
This is the battle for second place in the NFC South right now. The battle for second place. Which
probably isn't that impressive in the NFC South.
And the thing is, I'm going to lean towards the Falcons slightly, only because, I mean, the Panthers in their last 2 games, 3 points against the Bears, 10 points in a win against the Buccaneers last week. That's a total of 13 in your last 2 games. That's just simple math right there. However, last time you did play at home, you put up 23 in a loss to Philly. You put up, again, only 13 to the Saints. At home, I'm going to go with the Falcons. I think this Panther offense has some question marks about how to get into the end zone. Don't know how they're a 2.5-point favorite in this one. Then moving on, AFC matchup, Jacksonville hosting Cincinnati. Jaguars are 4.5-point favorites. I'm going to go with that, and I'm going to pick the Jaguars to beat the Bengals.
That's interesting. You're actually going against your own method here. So what week is it? Jacksonville's supposed to lose this
that's
one.
right. I think they break it. Break it.
I'm going to roll with it. Cincy. I'm picking Cincy here.
I liked, here's the thing. I went against it earlier, too, and I'm like, I should go with it. However, I really like this Jacksonville team, and I just want them to win. And I want them to be a playoff team because I want them to have that success, although it's probably going to bite me in the butt.
Well, I don't think they
lose.
I mean, the Andy Dalton offense, I don't think has enough to really get past Jacksonville's defense, but, every other week.
Now, this next one, I am going to keep this trend. Colts, a 12.5-point underdog to Deshaun Watson and the Texans. I'm going to go with the Texans to complete their trend of win or lose, win, lose, win, lose, win, lose, win.
You know what's really disappointing is that Indianapolis and the San Francisco 49ers already played each other. Because I would love to see the Tom Brady backup bowl.
The Jacoby Brissett, Jimmy Garoppolo bowl.
That would have been amazing. Tom Brady backup bowl. You continue the pattern on this one. Got to go with Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans.
Now the next one, interesting. Cardinals, 49ers. Cardinals are a 1-point favorite right now.
Is it 1-0? Is that what the 1-point favorite is?
I want to ask you this. Does Garoppolo play in this game?
I say, yeah, you just traded for him. Let him play. Give him as many little, arm wristbands as he needs to get the playbook.
I'm going to be bold then. I'm going to say 49ers get their first win at home with Jimmy Garoppolo against the Cardinals, the Carson Palmer-less Cardinals.
Yeah. I'm going to say this is like a 12-6 game right here. I don't expect a lot of success. I do expect Jimmy Garoppolo to be out there. I expect him to be able to move the ball, but I just expect a lot of...
I'll double down on that, 6-3.
There you go. I just expect a lot of, kind of check downs, really safe, run the ball. Arizona goes out there, can't do anything at all.
Kyle Shanahan will want to take it deep, though.
Oh, I'm sure he will. And I'm sure that they'll have some opportunities. But I think once you get into the red zone, I can see them stalling every time because they just don't have it worked out yet. But I'm going to ride with Arizona on this one. I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo gets a win in his first game. The headlines are going to be out there of, all right, get him out of town, fire Shanahan, fire everybody.
No, that's not going to happen.
And both the overreactions, don't doubt it. But I definitely think that Arizona, the few wins I think they can get in the remainder of their season, I think this can be one of them. Mostly because Jimmy Garoppolo will just be like, well, I know how to hand it off and I know how to throw it, but I don't know any of the language. I don't know what plays are what. I don't know which one of these guys I can trust. So I think there's going to be a lot of uncertainty.
Then our next one, we've got one more in the late afternoon because we did the Chief Cowboy because of the suspension news. Interesting on that one, though, that I did not read. Cowboys were 1.5-point favorites. I wonder if that changes
100%.
Now because of the suspension later this week. Then we have the Redskins at the Seahawks. Seahawks are 7.5-point favorites, and I got to roll with them going with the Seahawks.
Yeah, I mean, they should be the favorite here. I mean, that's a good one, a pretty big one right there, but I do think that Kirk Cousins can kind of, go toe-to-toe a little bit. But, I mean, if you watch that game against the Texans, Russell Wilson went out there and proved why he is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. And it's funny that, Richard Sherman goes out there talking about how Deshaun Watson's going to be a top 5 quarterback. And it's just like, this is a guy who has a top 5 quarterback on his team. That he sees him all the time. And, it gets a little underloved at times, Russell Wilson. I mean, the Seattle Seahawks are known for that defense, and we all remember Marshawn Lynch. But the man's been on a mission since Lynch has been gone, especially this season, been on a mission to say, I am one of the best. I'm going to win. This team does not want to win, but I'm going to drag their asses into the playoffs, whether they want to be there or not. Going to go with Russell Wilson.
Well, and then we've got our 2 primetime games. We've got the first one Sunday night. Game. The Oakland Raiders
I don't know how
at
it happens.
Miami. Oakland's a 3-point favorite. I roll with the Raiders because, let's be honest, the Dolphins got shut out by the Ravens. Going with the Raiders.
Yeah, going with the Raiders for sure. No doubt about it.
Can Cooper okay, I am going to fantasy bitch right now.
All right.
How does Amari Cooper have 33 points 2 weeks ago, but then this last week 5?
Any given Sunday.
How does that happen?
Any given Sunday.
Like, what is wrong with this Oakland offense?
Well, that's
Mark?
the problem with
What's
the
wrong
Oakland,
with this Oakland
offense is that they have too many weapons to take advantage of. Derek Carr can throw it wherever the hell he wants.
I just don't.
And they've been an inconsistent team this year.
I just don't get it.
Believe me,
with the
Jared
Raiders,
Cook
though.
is my tight end. I get you. I get you. My other tight end in a different league is Zach Miller.
Probably we're wishing that Jared Cook was still on the. Wasn't he on the Packers last year? He was on the Rams and the Packers, and now he's with the Raiders.
Jared Cook was on the Packers last year?
I thought so, unless he was on the Rams. One of the two. All I know is that the Packers are the next team coming up. This game early in the season, man, what a Monday night game. Matthew Stafford and the Lions that are looking to win the division. Aaron Rodgers and the Iron, King of the North and the NFC Packers. Now we get a Lions team that's coming off of a loss to the Steelers. A Brett Hundley-led Packers team. Also, interesting rule I didn't know was in the NFL until 2 weeks ago, that if your name is Brett and you're a quarterback, you can only play for the Packers and only start for the Packers. Interesting note there. Lions are 2.5-point favorites. Who you got?
Well, first of all, Jared Cook was on the Packers last
That's
year,
what I
so
thought.
I want to give you credit for
That's
that.
what I thought.
For this one, because Aaron Rodgers isn't there, gotta go with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. I know it's at Lambeau, and that Brett Hundley will probably play up a little bit because divisional game, he's gonna be feeling it. But I just gotta go with the Lions. I mean, they're on the Packers are on a 2-game losing streak. not really that successful. They're falling off the face of the earth. Detroit is trying to catch their way back up to Minnesota, or at least get into the wild card race. And I think this is really the time where they do it.
And right now I am just doing some interesting reading because I want to get this correct, that the Zeke 6-game suspension, here's a quote. I want to ask you this so that we get it correct. It says, with the ruling in the U.S. District Court for South District of New York, Elliott's 6-game suspension would again be in effect, and he would be ineligible to play in the Cowboys game in Oakland against the Raiders on December 17th. So does that mean he's going to be available for this game against the Chiefs? I just want to, I want to get that pick correct.
I don't know
right now because that's going to play into who I pick.
I don't know when I'd have to look at the Cowboys
I'm looking
schedule
at the schedule right now.
When that game is.
The 17th would be all the way in week 15. So
maybe
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's when he would be eligible to play next. Would be that Oakland game. Okay, we got it correct. Chiefs get the win. But this is where you guys come in. Let us know who you guys are picking down below. I saw that, and I was like, okay,
yourself.
I am confused. I need to ask Mark. So Zeke out till the 17th. Let us know who you guys got winning down below in the comment section. Also, housekeeping here at the end of the podcast. Check out, yet again, patreon.com/Most Valuable Podcast. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for liking and subscribing. But Patreon's another way to support the channel money-wise. And also, if you want to be like Jake and Patrick and be on a podcast, that $10 tier gets you on any podcast where we talk about the topic you would like to talk about. Also, go ahead and go to iTunes, rate our podcast, give us 5 stars, tell us why you love us, and tell the great fans of iTunes podcasts why they should check out Most Valuable Podcasts and our individual podcasts for the Fast Break Primetime Podcast, Rick and Johnny, and the Onside Kick. Want to thank you guys for listening and or watching, and as always, have a good day, everybody.